This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
I went to Vegas last weekend. Pretty crazy.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Gentlemen, welcome to Las Vegas.
Why don't you give me half the money you were going to bet? Then we'll go out back, I'll kick you in the nuts, and we'll call it a day.
Some guys just can't handle Vegas.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another Jeff Does Vegas webcast here on the old YouTubes. My name is Jeff, and I'm the guy that is behind those podcasts that you've been listening to. I just tried to scratch my ear through my headphones. That's the kind of day and night that it's been. Oh, man. Just trying to figure out the lighting in this stupid room. Listen, this is not a professional studio, clearly, right? It's not a TV studio. I'm using lighting that I don't even know. I'm using the IKEA LED light bars. I thought it would be a great idea. I'm pretty sure that I'm sadly mistaken on that. Basically, there's like a remote control that looks like this. If you're familiar with the IKEA stuff, you know what it looks like. Basically, sorry, itchy ear. Basically, it allows me to change the color of the lights that are here in this little light bar. Right now it's blue. Now it's kind of white. Now it's green. It's yellow. It's white. It's too bright. I don't know. Flip it to red. See what happens there. I don't know. Anyway. Thanks for your patience while we sort out the lighting issues on the podcast. Possibly the most ridiculous statement anybody's ever made in their lives. Hi, everybody. I hope your day's been fantastic. I hope your everything is going very well for you. I had a very busy day today. Got a lot of stuff done with the podcast, which was kind of nice to do. I am putting together episode number 20 of the podcast, getting set to release that here coming up in about a week, I guess. I like to put the podcasts out on Mondays. I don't know if that's the best way to do it. I'm not sure if that's, like I say, if that's the best day to do it. I don't know. You know what? You tell me. You're the listeners. You're the people that are listening to this thing every week. And I thank you very, very much for doing that because, again, without you, there would be no podcast. So all of you that have been listening and downloading, thank you a million times over. Thank you for actually listening to the podcast. What do you think is the best day to put out the podcast? I mean, for me, like I say, I've been finding or seeming to find that, wow, that is terrible. You know, I'm playing with the lights on the podcast. I'm sorry. This is nuts. I'm not thrilled. I'm not happy with the way this is working. But again, I'm not putting in lights. Hang on. I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to turn this lamp off. Here we go. I don't know if that's better, worse, what it is. Who knows? Anyway, no, that's definitely not good. I'm very yellow there in that. That's not bad. It's kind of romantic. A little red light. I don't know why it's red. It's on blue. Anyway, if you want to tell me, you want to share what you think is the best day to put out the podcast episodes, by all means, tell me. You can hit me up on social media at Jeff Does Vegas. You can get me via email as well, jeff@walkernewmedia.com, if you want to drop me a direct message and tell me what day you think would be the best day for me to put out a podcast. Anyways, working on episode number 20 of the podcast, getting it all put together. Interviewed a very, very dear friend of mine, Lisa Marie Smith, who I've talked about numerous times on past episodes of the show. Lisa's an entertainer in Las Vegas. She She was a headliner. She's a model. She's a singer. She's a dancer. She's absolutely amazing. She's also one of my very best, closest friends, not just in Las Vegas, but anywhere. She's helped me get through some pretty serious stuff. And I've been lucky enough to be able to be there for her, to help her through some serious stuff as well, which we actually address in this episode of the podcast. So again, that new episode should hit on Monday. That would be May the 6th. I had to look at a calendar to see what that was. So anyways, Monday, May the 6th is the day that you're going to be able to check out a brand new podcast, a brand new edition of the show. That's going to be a lot of fun. Something really kind of cool happened today that I did, which was kind of neat. I had set myself up to do an interview with Jennifer Crawford from Podbean. Podbean is a podcast hosting platform. They are my podcast hosting platform. They are awesome to deal with. I've had excellent experience with them. And I met Jennifer at the NAB show in Las Vegas back a few weeks ago when I was down there. Podbean had a booth set up. So I went over and I said hello, and we chatted for a little bit. And she said, hey, I do a podcast about our podcasters, and I'd love for you to be on it. So I dropped her a note, dropped her an email after the show, after the NAB show, and initially was set up to record an interview with her next weekend on the 11th, on May the 11th. And she reached out to me today. She sent me an email. She said, hey, I had a couple of people drop out on me that I was supposed to be talking to. Would you like to do it today? And so we did. And we chatted for a very long time. We chatted for about an hour and a half, I guess, about all things podcasting. And she asked me about my podcast and, if I had advice for podcasters that, were looking to get into doing shows. It was a lot of fun. And so I'm not exactly sure when that episode is going to record or when it's going to be produced and aired, but she said she would definitely let me know. So when she lets me know, I'll let you know. And we can hopefully share that on my website at jeffdoesvegas.com. I'll share it out on the Twitter, like I'm an old man. I'll share it out on my Twitter and my social media, and Facebook, Instagram, and such. And we can share that. It'd be kind of fun. I'm really curious to see how it goes and what stays in and what goes out. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Also, just wanted to give a heads up, started working on episode number 21. I had to consult a whiteboard. This was a thing that came up today in this interview with Jennifer from Podbean. I mentioned that this is how serious this podcast is getting now. I have bought a whiteboard and I've started doing Excel spreadsheets. I'm whiteboard committed to this thing now. Episode number 21 of the podcast, which I'm looking ahead to May the 13th, doing a really interesting, I mean, at least I think it's interesting. We're going to be talking to Lauren Wolf from, Lauren Wolf. Again, so many interviews going on right now. Lauren Wolf from killresortfees.com, doing an entire episode all about resort fees. So that is going to be an interesting one to listen to. She's got some really interesting material and some interesting subject matter talking about resort fees and the legality of resort fees, and whether or not the resorts in Las Vegas have the right to actually be charging you a mandatory resort fee when you're not really getting anything for it. So anyways, we had a really good conversation. At least, again, I thought we had a good conversation. So I'm looking forward to getting that into episode number 21 of the podcast. Something else I've been working on here tonight, which I'm kind of sort of proud of that I've been able to do this. I say we, like I've got a whole team. It's me. Unless I count my dog, it's all me. Back a while ago, I launched a patron program through Patreon and Podbean. the Podbean patron program, which I think I might close down. Again, nothing against Podbean. I've had amazing experiences with them, but I'm finding that I'm getting a little more action from Patreon, and I think it's just because Patreon is such a big they've got such a big name about them. People know who Patreon is. Anyways, launching a patron program with Patreon and putting together episodes, evergreen episodes of the show, if you will. I've kind of joked about all killer, no filler. If you're a regular listener to the podcast, you'll know that as of late, I've started doing a little feature called Vegas News You Can Use, which is kind of a fun, little way to talk about stuff going on in Las Vegas, whether it's new residencies or new shows or stuff opening or closing or whatever. So I have put that in the show, and then I also throw in some plugs and some shout outs at the end of the show for some of my friends and events that they have going on. Some of the feedback that I've gotten through the audience survey is people have said, Jeff, we just really want to hear the content and the topic for the show. So what I'm working on and what I've done is I've adapted the episodes and I've taken all that stuff out. So what I'm looking to do and what I'm planning on doing with this is I'm going to make the archived episodes, the older episodes I'm going to upload onto Patreon now, archive them for anybody that's pledging $1 a month. You're going to be able to listen to the stripped down versions of these episodes. I think I've gone as far back as episode number 6. The first few episodes were not, I didn't really find my groove for producing the episodes until around episode 5 or 6. So they're not quite as clean. They're not as easy to clean up for the archives. So I'm going to get those episodes cleaned up and get them on for Patreon. For $1 a month, you'll be able to listen to those. All the archive, all the old episodes stripped down. And then what I want to do as well is early release episodes for Patreon subscribers, early release those onto Patreon, again, stripped down. So you'll have the option. You'll have a few different options of things that you can listen to. You'll be able to listen to the full version stuff for free at jeffdoesvegas.com and on iTunes and Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Stitcher and all that kind of stuff. Those things will live on there. But then on Patreon, you'll be able to jump on and listen to the stripped down versions of the show. So you'll just get, again, it's all killer, no filler, right? Just the content and the cool stuff. So I think I'm probably going to be doing the first proper early release episode, cleaned up early access with episode number 20 with my chat with Lisa Marie Smith. So that is going to go up there and onto Patreon. So you can access Patreon.com/JeffDoesVegas, and you can subscribe. Like I say, there's some really cool stuff that I'm throwing on there for Patreon subscribers. $1 a month, you're going to get the full archive stuff. $5 a month, you're going to get the early access to the new episodes. Goes up from there. There's some other cool stuff on there. For me, you know what? If people want to pay money for this to listen to, I am absolutely 100% totally cool with that. I just, honestly, I appreciate the listenership, and I appreciate the fact that people are actually taking the time to listen to the episodes. So again, all of this stuff is all kind of starting to come together. I'm excited about it. It's a lot of fun, and these little video webcasts, I want to start doing some of those as well, a little bit more often. They're going to be kind of more on the fly update stuff for people, talking about things that maybe are going on in Las Vegas, or talking, about stuff that's going on, kind of the behind the scenes stuff that's going on with the show. So again, thank you to everybody that's been taking the time to listen. And thank you to everybody that's been taking time to reach out via social media and email as well. I really do appreciate it. I read all your tweets. I read all your emails, because I mean, honestly, there's not that many of them. So I can have the time to actually do that and respond to them individually. So again, thank you to everybody that's been getting involved and listening and downloading and contacting me. I really do appreciate it. I feel like there's this, we're right on the cusp of something really cool and really special with this podcast. So, and it wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for you guys taking the time to listen and actually get involved in the podcast and be a part of it. So again, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you. I'm going to close this thing out for the night. Thank you very much. Oh, one thing I did want to mention that I meant to mention earlier. I've launched officially. I'm a Vegas.com affiliate. So if you are planning on booking anything, hotels, flights, show tickets, club tours, anything like that, go to the website at jeffdoesvegas.com. Down the right-hand side of the page, there's a list of links. Use the Vegas.com affiliate link if you can. Do some bookings. There's going to be some special deals and things like that that are going to pop up there. Plus, I'm going to be fully upfront and honest with you here. I get a little cut of stuff that gets booked through there. So again, this is all coming together to build for the podcast. So I so much appreciate everybody taking the time to be a part of this. So thank you for putting up with the crappy lighting in this video. I'm going to try to get that fixed at some point here. And thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video and the other videos that I posted. And of course, the podcast, jeffdoesvegas.com. Make sure you subscribe. Absolutely free to subscribe to the podcast at jeffdoesvegas.com. Thank you so much. Bye.